Y'all, I got this little hoodie. Is it hard? I got this joint in high school. It's K-Star here with this, that, and the third podcast. I'm fixing it. K-Star here with this, that, and the third podcast, man. And today I'm gonna be talking to y'all about doing what works for you. So you'll see a lot of creators out here, and we are even some of them, me and you. You'll see a lot of creators out here telling you what to do with your life, and they're telling you the tips that the tips that they've learned or the tricks that they've acquired in their life that help them be successful in the things that they do, that help them be successful in what they do, and they tell you what to do, and then y'all try to go do it and it doesn't work, right? You see people doing these 90-day content streaks. You see people doing these 30-day diets or 60 days in the weight room or whatever. You see people doing these certain things that work for them. And then when you guys try to implement them into your life, they don't work. The reason why is because you weren't meant to do them. It worked for them, and that's great, but it does not mean it'll work for you. But what that does not mean that all these people giving you tips, and it doesn't mean me and you giving you these tips means that you need to just ignore us, right? It's not what it means. But what it does mean is what you need to take from it, and what you need to take from the words that you hear and the actions that you see are the concepts and the themes that are behind the materializations of the concepts, right? I'm gonna break that down a little bit. So I may have a concept in my mind that I want to be successful, right? Or that's my goal. I want to be successful. And I may do something out of that mindset of wanting to be successful. And that action may not be an action that is consistent with you, but that idea that you want to be successful is consistent with your thinking. So let's get a real example. Let me think of one on the spot. Let me just think of a good example. Boom. Content, right? For some people, right? Everybody that wants to make content, we want to blow up, right? We want our work to be seen by everybody, and we want people to see our stuff. We want people to repost our stuff, all of this stuff, all of this stuff, all of this stuff. There are some people out there that for them, the best way to get their content to go up is to tell everybody in the world about it, right? The best way for them is to go door to door and tell them, y'all making content, or go person to person, hey, I'm making content, pass out flyers 24/7, blah, blah, blah. Some people, the best way is just let it grow organically. Let the people that come to them come to them. For some people, working at 3 a.m. works. For some people, they sleep by 3 a.m., but they can get their work done at 8 a.m. Right? So me telling you to get your work done at 8 a.m. does not mean you need to get your work done at 8 a.m. What that means is, though, you need to get your work done when it works for you in a way that is going to allow for you to still be successful and allow you to sustain that way of work. There are certain things that I've tried to do that do not work for me. Working hard is one of those things. I get burnt out very easily. And it's something that I do need to improve on in a sense. But for me, sitting down on a computer or sitting down with a notebook in front of me or even sitting with a camera in front of me and just studying all day how to work the camera or how to do my homework or how to edit, it doesn't work for me. My attention span is very low, and I am not somebody that can operate in a way that I can just work hard 24/7, do all of these little things and make it work in the way that people may view me as I do it. People may think I'm working hard 24/7, but right now it is like, bro, I'm looking at here like I can see the time. Whole time, this is for the mic, so I can't see the time. But I think it's like 11:30 right now. Right now it's like 11:30. I woke up today at like 10 a.m., something like that. I haven't recorded till now, and I haven't done anything all day. I haven't done one thing all day. I haven't opened my computer to do anything productive. I made one mood board for a client. That's all I did in the 13 hours that I've been awake. But you know what works for me is that I've done that all day, but I had nothing to do all day, right? So I rested all day. I slept all day. I listened to music all day. I wrote in my journal a little bit, and I just chilled all day. But right now, this content that I'm making is the best content I could have made today because this is the time for me to do it. You see what I'm saying? You could listen to other people that tell you to get all your stuff done and go to sleep by this time and do everything like this. They are telling you to do it that way because that's what they think works. But really, that's just what works for them. For me, doing things in a structured way does not work for me. And I understand that. And it's not to say I don't work hard at all. It's not to say that I'm just going to do what I want whenever I want and just say F everybody. And if I don't get it done, I don't get it done. It's not my fault. No. If I had something I needed to do today at 7 o'clock, best believe at 7 o'clock, I would have got that done. But I didn't. I had no time constraint on making this video. You know what I'm saying? I had no time constraint on doing anything today. So I took my time all day. And that's something I want you guys to realize is that You don't have to do what works for somebody else. You need to do what works for you. And for each person, there are certain things that you can do that don't work for others, but there are also certain things that work for others that you can't do, and you can't force that to work for you. For example, for me, I cannot drink a lot and be okay. Like at a party, I can't go out and drink a lot and still feel like myself. I cannot go out and drink and just be okay the next day. I can't do that. That's not something that I can do. And for some time, I was like, yeah, I can do that. Like everybody does it. I can do it. It's fine. But I can't. So I had to be realistic with myself. And it's hard to do that with certain things that everybody does. Like certain things that everybody does, it's hard to realize like this doesn't work for me. And it goes as far as even career paths. Like not everybody can make content. I know I've been blessed with the creativity and the confidence to be able to make very high quality content at a consistent rate. But like cybersecurity or having a 9 to 5 job that I don't like or just doing things for money, that's not me. And I understand that that's not me. And you have to understand who you are, understand your flaws and your natural strengths. Don't worry about the flaws until later. Worry about your natural strengths. Worry about the things that you can get up and just do easily. Like the things that are just super, super, super natural for you to do at any time, whenever you do it. You may not do it all the time, but when you go to do it, you do it very, very, very well. Focus on those things right there and make that what you do. Because those are the things that obviously you were born to do. You were born with the ability to do. And those are the things that work for you. Certain things I just was not born with. You can ask all my friends. Time management. If they tell me to be, I'm like a woman when it comes to that, bro. When you tell me to get there at 10, I'm not gonna leave the house till 10:30, even if it's something that is urgent. Like I'm not very attentive sometimes. Like I'll leave stuff. I break. This is my fifth camera. I think this is my fifth camera, and I'm a cameraman that everybody knows that needs to be on top of his stuff. But I'm clumsy. But I've realized for me that that is something that I have to work with. But I also have certain strengths that other people just do not have. My creativity is, I'm very tapped into it. Other people are not as tapped into their creativity. My ability to do my work at any time of the day, people aren't super tapped into that. So what I realized though is that there are certain things that I can do very well, very naturally, that I'm going to continue to tap into, that I can do, and they're going to always work for me, but they may not work for somebody else, and vice versa. There are things that your close friends can do very, very well that you just may not be able to do, and you have to understand that and accept it. Like, be okay with not being able to do everything the exact way that other people can do them. Be okay with doing things your way, even with this camera. Like there are certain ways that I shoot that like other people are like, what? Or like other cameramen. My bad. Came out, so I had to stop the recording. Like I was saying, bro, there are some ways that you're gonna do certain things that other people cannot do. And the main example I have, is for me, is my work ethic, right? I'm not somebody that, like I was saying earlier, I'm not somebody that works super, super hard. I'm not somebody that spends all of their time just doing stuff. Like I'm not that person. That video I made like end of December where I procrastinated the project until like 11:59 or like 11 o'clock and then did it in like an hour. That's genuinely how I operate. Now it's not. I don't sit there and like I don't do it in a way that I did it in the video for dramatic effect and like acting like I don't really want to do it. But that's how I operate. I don't do things until I feel like doing them. Until it feels right to do it, I don't do it. That is something that I had to realize. Like other people will push you to kind of do things on like when they're ready for you to do it. But you gotta do shit when you want to. You gotta do shit when it feels right to you, how it feels right to you. If something don't feel right to you and what you're doing doesn't feel like you need to be doing it, don't do it. Not at that time, not in that way. Do things in the way that they're gonna work for you. Don't worry about other people. Put your heart and your passion into everything you do. One thing I really love about Sean and Doug, and this is something that I realized about them, like not I didn't realize about it recently, but thinking about just people that live their life how they want to live their life, especially Sean and Dub, being like with them every single day. I realized they live their life in a way that is for them. Like the work that they do is for them. They don't, and obviously, you know what I'm saying, as artists, you want to improve your work in certain ways. But when they create their work and when they put their art out, they're making their art for them. They don't change their editing style for who they're editing for. They don't change their personality for who's around. They don't change up anything about themselves for who is or is not around. They're just them fully, and that's everybody around me. But just especially with them, especially in that creative aspect, like looking at their portfolios, they don't do things how I would do them. Sean doesn't do things how Dub would do them. Dub doesn't do things how I would do them. I don't do things how Sean would do them. But we all do things how we would do them, and that uniqueness and that us in each of us that we put out into our work and into the world, it shows. And there's a beauty in that right there. Like I would never look at a picture that Sean edited and be like, well, I'm not gonna say never, but the way like Sean's editing style, I don't look at it and be like, I'm gonna edit like that. But I look at that and be like, damn, like that shit is hard. And like I can see a piece of Sean in his work. Same thing with Dub. Like I can look at his work, be like, damn, I see a piece of Dub in his work. And it's like that with a lot of creators I know in photography and their brands. I can see a piece of them in what they're doing because they're doing it how they want to. And it's not the traditional way. It's not the way that you would learn how to do it in school. But it adds that like effect of me when I can't talk. It differentiates them from the pack in a way. Like if you try to do things how everybody else does them and try to be different, you won't be different. You won't be different at all. And that's in creative aspects, that's in your day to day and everything. If you try to do things the way that other people do them, you will not be different. But the second you just do you and you just say, okay, I'm gonna do what I do. Like I'm just gonna do my work. I'm just gonna be my person. I'm gonna talk to this person how I want to talk to them. You'll see yourself be a totally different person than you see when you're trying to live for everybody else. Like you'll just be you, and that'll be the most beautiful and the most authentic you. So be that you all the time and do things exactly how you want to. How you want to, I mean, in a way that will not hurt others, in a way that will not damage yourself. Like as long as you're doing you and it's not directly hurting anybody, and you feel like, okay, what I'm doing, even if you may not agree with it, it's not gonna hurt you and it's not wrong. Do that, bro. Don't do it for the respect of other people, and don't do it for the validation from other people, because that's allowing other people to control you. That's putting the power in them rather than allowing the power to stay within yourself. And it's crazy. Like things are gonna work inversely when you put the power into other people to judge you for the positive validation. You're putting that power into them, not leaving any power for yourself. When you put the power within yourself, you're going to get that external validation. It's just gonna happen because you're being yourself, and being yourself, it's rewarded by respect. It's rewarded by all the things that you're chasing. When you just put everything with all, because this is the thing. When you put the power in others, you're always going to be chasing that power. You know what I'm saying? You're always going to be chasing that validation. When you put the power in others to validate you, you're going to be chasing that external validation. When you put the power with, see how I'm reaching? When you put the power within you, hold on. Yeah, when you put the power, hold on, let me record this. Look for my camera real quick. Hold on. Put that joint in 0.5 because my Instagram need to hear this right now. So just bear with me while I set this joint up. I'm looking at y'all. When you put the power in other people to validate you, you're putting the power elsewhere. So it's never going to be within you. You're never going to get that validation. You're never going to get that happiness because you're putting the power in other people. You're always going to be chasing it. You're always going to be chasing it in this person. And when this person doesn't give it to you 100% how you want it, you're going to chase it in this person. It's going to follow, and you're just going to be chasing it in everybody. But the very second you say, okay, the validation I want and the happiness and the joy that I want, I'm going to take that power away from other people and put that within me. I'm going to place that power within me. I don't need to chase that happiness now. I don't need to chase that joy now. I don't need to chase anything. That power and that joy is within me. And now all of those people you were chasing are going to be attracted to you because you have that joy and that happiness within you. They're going to see that joy and that happiness within you and be automatically attracted to you. But that's only going to happen when you live the life that you want, the way that you want to. So do things the way that you want to do them. Do things the way that feel right to you, and you're going to see a crazy change in your life. This is K-Star with This, That, and the Third podcast, and we out.